Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we're going to take a look at some more Neca. We have got Frankenstein's monster, Raphael, from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, crossed over with the Universal Monsters, the first of the line. Thing that I really love about this is the box art. Right there on the back is great, and my biggest sell point on this is the fact that they're going with more movie line, like realistic styles for these monsters instead of like doing like another toon line for them like Playmates did back in the day. Now, Playmates was great back in the day, that's what we had, but as an adult collector now, I love the realistic approach to these things that they're going for and everything, and this is great. If we look here, we have got just, nice little window box, like always with all these NECAs. Great little presentation in there. Yeah, let's go ahead and just pull him out and see what we're working with. Pulling our buddy right on out of the box here and everything. Like, he is massive. I'm telling you right now, he is pretty massive. Like, I was not expecting him to be as thick a boy as he is and everything. The thing that really sold me on him, because I was kind of debating about getting into this line, like I said, the realism, like, going more for like a realistic looking turtle versus a cartoony turtle and everything, that is a good sell point for me personally. And then like the way that they did the size, like the little fucking electric conduits and everything with the lightning bolt and everything, I was like, oh, that's just beautiful. I need that. But when you're going to pull them out, what you're going to look for is you've got a little zip tie around both the wrists, and you've got the one around the waist there. That's it. That's all we got holding this bad boy in. Doesn't look like we got anything around the feet or anything like that. But let's go ahead and pull them out because we want to see what this figure actually looks like. And there we have him out of the box. And this figure is really awesome. I will say, though, he's a little bit hard to get to stand in any pose that you really want him in, just because of the fact that the back of his shell is very heavy, so he kind of wants to topple backwards unless you get his feet just right, which is a good thing for the way that they did his feet. As you can see, they are very squared off and everything, so like, he's going to stand a little bit better for you just because of that. They're like very flat, very squared off. There's like a lot of like surface tension there for him. He does stand right at that 7-inch mark too and everything. So in case you're wondering about height on him, he's got that 7 inches on him, that full 7 inches, which I feel is a little bit bigger than those movie turtles they did, which is perfect for him being Frankenstein, big, thick, nice. Like, his size, they go in right here. He's got these little hooks and stuff. You're gonna want to mess about with the chains that he's got wrapped around his waist and everything, because they do sit right flush on like where his size go. So that's why like they're kind of dangling around like his knees right now, because like I just kind of scooted them down to slide those in. He's got all these nice like aesthetics looking to him and everything. Like, all the detail that they really put into this guy, so great. I mean, he's got like the New York sewer like plate like just sitting there welded onto his shell. That's awesome. He's got this little I don't know, handle like that's bolted into his shell. He's got all these cracks around his shell, just very nice detailing on it. The chains, like, they don't feel like super cheap, like you're gonna just like snap them off, but if you give them a good tug, they will definitely break on you and everything. But we're not really gonna be messing around with the chains too much and everything. You got this little like hydraulic thing going here along with that, and they're like connected into each other going into his neck there and everything. He's got his bolts on either side. He's got a flat top head for his hair. His whole forehead's kind of elongated out there. He's got this great look on his face, and like his clothing is all tattered up and everything. On his hands, we've got all these stitches and stitch patterns, and we're going to get a close-up of everything that I'm talking about real soon here. But taking a look at the size, they are thick. Like, they're not thin, they are thick. So like, they're not too malleable, but I mean, you can bend that tip a little bit. But and then they are sharp, like the end pointy, like that is actually pretty sharp. And then like these little points here, they're pretty sharp too. So I mean, like, I don't think we're gonna like cut anything on them, but like they are pointy. And like I said, like that is like, they did a good job with like the thickness of the blade and everything. We can look at that, like, it's just not thin. I like that. It just like kind of adds to the quality of it and everything, and adds to the aesthetics of it. Like, looks real nice. Let's go ahead and kind of zoom in here. Let's look at some of this detail we got going on. So looking at right here, you can see we got all this tattering going on, this like snaps and everything. Like I said, with the wrists, we've got like the stitches, and you can even see it right there. Moving on to the back of the shell here, got this crack in this little pressure gauge here. All the cracks they got along like this, the whole shell and everything, I think really adds to him. The welded, bolted on like sewer plate, like I think it's just really nice. Like, you know, if we come up and look in on his face, let's see if we can get, there we go. We can see a lot of that detail in his face and everything. I'm really liking this figure here. He looks really good. The flash on my camera here like is not the best, so like, you know, he does have a darker tone than what it's showing here. It's not this like kind of, it's more of a puke green for his skin and everything. Let's see if we can adjust this again and look down. Like I was saying, he's got the squared off feet. He's got the bolts on his ankles there too. I think this guy is a pretty great figure. Now, if we're going to move on to articulation, we're going to go and pull these off here. Zoom us back out here. So, we've got our head movement, standard, ball peg, just kind of wherever you want that head and everything. Give him that nice little tilt there. Looking up, looking straight, you know, whichever one you want. And of course, we've got the arms moving, shoulder there. We do not have a double shoulder joint on that, just that single. I feel like they could have benefited from having like that double shoulder on there, so you could get a little bit more range. But I mean, Frankenstein, like, what are you really gonna do, like, besides have like the you know? But you do got that double jointed elbow, you know, your pads are blocking there, but he does have that double jointed elbow. Look at the way they got his hands though, with like the fingers, with the like, it just adds to the creepiness of the figure itself. I really like that. And then of course, you know, your hands got the articulation and everything, and we do have alternate hands, and we've got that elbow twist as well. Same thing on the other side. We don't need to really go through it all on both sides, you know. But as far as the feet go, scooch this back up here. Like I was saying, with that chain, just messing about with it, you'll find like where you really want that at. You can do a lot with that chain, like, you know, I can already see just from the few times I've moved it, you can make like a pattern out of it and everything, you know, give them like a nice X, like with the chains, like bring them up here. You could even, if you really wanted to, find a way to like actually scooch them about and get his arms through it. You could probably loop it up this way. It would take you a little bit of tedious movement to do that. But legs, standard ball joint there. So he doesn't feel loose, but he feels very free moving. You might get like a tighter joint on some of your figures. Might get a looser one, who knows. but that's not that bad. I've definitely seen worse in the past couple days. But double knee joint, his brace kind of blocks that knee from moving exactly the way you'd want it, but we do have that twist there as well. That's the big bonus right there. And then for the feet, we've got our standard ball peg and back and forth. So you're not going to go all the way forward though, because like the way that they got this cloth right here, he's not going to go forward too much with his feet, so you kind of got like that back motion with the foot. Really nice figure. I do really like it. And just to throw it in there, I tried setting him up with the stand. He does fit inside the stand. Like, you know, they're supposed to be made for NECAs, but it's a very, very loose fit. So, like, that stand's not going to keep him up there. You can get him on that stand, but, like, I mean, that's kind of useless, as with, like, 90% of the NECA figures. Disappointing for the fact that they're supposed to be made for the NECA figures. But comes with those hands. Then he comes with two other alternate sets of hands. He comes with these side gripping hands. Just your nice little grab your weapon. Left and right for that. And then he comes with two fists. And like I said, I've got the flash on this recording here because we just needed that little extra light to really get into these details. It is a slightly darker green than what it's looking at. Like, this looks like very lizard-like, you know, kind of like light green. It's actually a dark green. So, see if we can knock that off and take a better look at it. But yeah, two fists. Two grabs, two, yeah. There you have him. Monster, Raph, Frankenstein. I'm excited for the rest of this line. The only one I'm not super excited for is the Mikey. I don't know, he looked kind of weird as the mummy, and we'll see when we get him. We'll see when we get him. Still waiting. I think he is going to look great in whatever you decide to pose him around with. That's probably my favorite addition to it. But thanks for tuning in, you guys. Anything else you want to know, just let me know. We'll see you around.